Volkswagen's upcoming platform Trinity is very exciting. It can do all kinds of things, and it's going to be here before you know it, assuming you live that long. Let's find out how long that is. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Joining me is my delightful co-host and friend, Mark from The Tesla Life. How are you, Mark?
Doing well, Brian. Now, you said Good. If you live long enough. Well, what are you implying there, Brian?
I'm telling you, man, a lot of people were concerned that they would not see Cybertruck in their lifetime. And Tesla got a whole lot of flack for it. But this is something different. This is legit. VW's Project Trinity, what comes after the ID range of EVs? First of all, that's beautiful. I like that. Do you think they'll make one that looks like that?
I think they have, but it's in a computer model.
Yeah, this does not have a lot of fender clearance here in the well. And yeah, this is a render for sure. But great, that's fine. That's not the part I'm worried about. Volkswagen's ID range, okay, great. It's a springboard to launch a much more a range of electric cars that can scale quickly. You know, let's put Dieselgate behind us, right? But there's much, much more under development. So this is great. This is going to be exciting. Standardized batteries that can be scaled up or down depending on range and performance requirements. I feel like I've heard that before.
I've heard that someplace else.
Yeah, that sounds like the Ultium idea. How well is that working out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mary's too busy leading to actually build cars. 800 volt electronics. I don't think they mean that. I think they mean the battery's 800 volts. I think it would be pretty crazy to have 800 volt blinkers. You will kill someone.
Man, they would flash fast, though.
They would be real flashy. By the way, do you know why they went with the 48 volt architecture in newer vehicles, specifically the Cybertruck, and others are expected to follow? Why 48?
They wanted to reduce the costs of the 12 volt architecture system. They wanted to reduce cable sizes. They wanted to reduce copper. They wanted to be able to reduce wiring. And all that goes hand in hand with the 48 volt architecture.
Why not 96?
Because it's some point you can really zap somebody.
That's right. Fatal is around 55 to 60. So 48 is a good compromise. You're going to feel it, but it's not going to kill you. Oh, look at this on the same platform.
Ooh.
Do you think they're going to build this?
In reality, I hope so, because, man, that looks sexy.
I love how the headrest looks like a rear view mirror that they mounted for the rear seat passengers. But it's got, I hope they do, because it's got these big swoopy spaces for your exhaust.
Yeah, that's a good fit right there. Yeah.
Loose spare electrons can flop out the back. That's great. This car will never be built. Unfortunate, because it is truly beautiful. It's magnificent. And this expansive glass that they put here would allow these windows to roll down into the doors, which is, you know, a challenge. This one, maybe not, but it doesn't matter. It's not real. So this is great. This will not necessarily be an ID 7 or 8. Those are not great names. Once you've got a compelling car, give it a real name. This is a lot closer to what they would build. And good news, you don't have to live that much longer. Expected launch of 2026. That's good, right?
Matches very much the current ID platform, though, the look of it.
Yeah, well, it just looks like a Volkswagen. It looks like Volkswagen is leaning towards Audi. Oh, but you know what? I just remembered I saw this other news. Yeah, it might not launch until 2030. Oh, when is this from? This is from just a year and a half ago. They said, yeah, 2030. That's unfortunate, right? Delayed. It's debut until 2030. Well, that's, you know, disappointing, but that's not going to happen. But
isn't that Tron 4?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's Tron Legacy Auto. The rendering retains the shape, but looks more aggressive. Well, Yes, that's what they paid for. Trinity allegedly being pushed back wouldn't be the first time. Software issues delayed a car's launch. That's for Audi, Porsche, Bentley because of the Cariad fiasco. Yeah, and the Macon's launch was delayed by a year, but somehow we only hear about one company's delays. 2030, man. That's a long time. But you know what? When they announced this, it was only going to be about 7 years. It's been almost 2 years, so only 5 years to go. That's not too bad, right? Oh, did
There's
you hear? I don't know if you heard. Yeah. VW said to delay Trinity EV flagship to 2032.
Oh no. I
You
see a
guys,
game here, Brian. Do you see the game?
what are you doing? This is transparent nonsense. You don't have anything. 2032, 8 years. Development cycle is 3 to 5. That means this isn't the next car or the next car. It's the third to next car. Ridiculous.
And what do? They go back to the Golf, get an electric Golf on the road, and try to hold you over until the Trinity's available.
To their credit, it is a popular vehicle. But what do you want to bet that Golf is going to be replaced by a Zeekr Golf or a BYD Golf?
Could very well be.
Yeah, it's just a bit silly and frustrating. Bloom's new EV product rollout would see, would it? Would it? Can we believe anything? A full electric Golf, codenamed ID Golf. Phoning it in. If you hired me to be the consultant that came up with that name, I would expect to get sued for submitting an invoice. Golf EV would be the first VW brand to use the group's software-led scalable systems platform instead of the Trinity. Oh no, you're doing 5 things poorly. Okay, a full electric Audi A4 would launch at the end of 2028. That means that Audi, which needs a technology boost, would be the first VW Group brand to use the SSP architecture. Yeah, okay. And then the ID4 would arrive in 2030 instead of 2028. This is surely the last delay we're going to see, right?
Can't be anymore. Yeah.
It's got to be. It's got to be. You guys, 2032, book it. Book it. Mark it with ink. Write this down in your calendar. Bloom had already delayed Trinity by 2 to 3 years, and now he's scrapped plans to build a Tesla-style factory for the car near Wolfsburg. So what? I don't know if you know this, but Tesla has a unique advantage with their factories.
What's that?
Well, it could be any number of things. Why don't we take turns? I'll say the fact that they have a straight line instead of multiple buildings is one such advantage.
Yeah.
Can you think of another?
They have the ability to dramatically change lines to suit what they're after in multiple different types of vehicles.
Yeah, they use cubic space instead of just linear space. That's an advantage.
Is that?
Oh, the engineers are in the same building as the manufacturers.
That's a key winner right there, because if the people that are engineering how this plant is going to operate and go together and produce, guess what? If anything goes off the rails, they're just over there. You can drag them over to the production line.
I can see them. Are we allowed to talk to them? Maybe not at VW. Yeah, it's pretty weird that you would look at the Shanghai factory is 9 million square feet and produces in excess of 1 million cars a year. So per year, per square meter, they make a car. That's some quality monster math right there. So yeah, Volkswagen, I think it might be time to step up your game.
Another thing that's coming down the line with the next iteration of the Tesla factory is, of course, the module build.
Well,
they can't. being
Yeah,
able to break them up and assemble them in a faster way. Not here yet, but we have talked about that. We've heard many discussions about how this new line will operate.
well, yes, but that's Tesla's Gen 3 factory philosophy. They're not catching up with the Gen 1, let alone 2. So, uh, yeah, yeah, we're not. Now, again, it's very strange that manufacturers don't get harassed for things like this when Tesla does. Any delay, Tesla, oh my gosh, broken promises. It's like Toyota with their solid state battery. We talked about that a little bit before the show. But Toyota has announced that they have a solid state battery that will enter production in 2 to 3 years, but they've announced it every 18 months since 2009. Every 18 months. Guess what, guys? Guys, it's going to be so good. It's going to get you 1,000 miles. It's going to charge in 5 minutes. It's going to be lightweight and cheap. And we're going to start making it real soon.
Interesting, Brian, that you say that they don't get called on this. And that's why this happens with many industry players all the time. There are new news articles written about this wonderful innovation, this wonderful new car, this wonderful new battery pack that's going to come out, but is like 2, 3 years away. And then, like you said, a year later, 18 months later, another announcement. The problem is that no one's actually producing what they say they're going to do on the timetable that they release. They just keep revising it.
For me, the only time I consider a battery or car announcement to be real is if it's next year. As in, we are tooling it up now. Then it's real. Anything past 2 years is fantasy, is the next CEO's problem. And with the Toyota solid state battery, it's fun to go back and look at the articles. I tried to find them. It's too much work. I don't have time. We've done whole videos about it before, but every time it was lazy reporters taking a press release and just repackaging it as an article. Boy, that was easy. Job done. But it's not. You guys, you gotta. And then, of course, you see all the people on social media sharing it as fact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure, BYD's got pretty good batteries, but did you know next year Toyota's going to have batteries that hover in midair and charge themselves? I think is it might as well be the claim. And you were saying before that solid state is inevitable. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that the code will be cracked at some point. We've got too many different minds working on this, too many companies, too many people that are aiming to have the next generation. We'll get there. Someone's going to have a breakthrough. Someone's going to crack the code, and it will happen. But until they get to the point where not only is the code cracked and broken open, but the mass production of those batteries can be done in a factory setting. Once we get there, then we're really in business. And of course, we'll have many rush in, and many will be buying a commoditized battery that's solid state, and it'll be spread to multiple other companies that will crack the same code and move forward. It's the iteration that we humans do. And yes, we will get there. It's just that it's taking longer than they expected, but eventually it'll get there.
I would agree with you. I would say that this is not a physics problem. This is an engineering problem, and engineering problems can be overcome. Conversely, hydrogen also has people all over the world still working on it for some reason, and they can't crack the code because they've run up against the limits of physics. And for hydrogen to work, you don't need new engineering. You need new physics. And that's kind of challenging to come by, I'm told. So, guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What do you think of these delays for Volkswagen? Are you deeply, desperately disappointed? Are you, do you care at all? Does it even matter? Let us know.
Will it be 2032 or 2034 or 2036? Let us know in the comments.
I would like you to leave that comment as to what year VW will crack that code. Everybody else, like, subscribe, do the usual, stay tuned and juicy. Maybe head over to the Tesla Life, see what they're up to. They had a very special guest on the show this week. I don't remember
Wonder
who
who
it
that
was,
was.
but it was very, very good. Very good. And everybody else, yeah, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I kind of wait to hear from you clever robots tomorrow when Mark joins us again with nothing but good news, mostly.
Mostly.